Hi guys, welcome back, and today I'm going to talk to you about bodybuilding on a budget. So guys, bodybuilding on a budget, whether you're on a budget or not, this can help you. There might be a few tips in here, a few tips and tricks, ways to save money, ideas you might not have even thought of. I'm going to talk to you about two things in particular, nutrition and training, the two most important things. So let's go to my kitchen and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So guys, here we are in my kitchen, and whether you're on a tight budget or if you have a cupboard like this, I'd really like it if you sat and watched this video, enjoying it, you might get a few tips. I love protein shakes, I always have done, and I also like green tea. I love this stuff. It's cheap, it's nice, it's easy to get hold of, and it comes in a nice big bowl that I can take to the gym and basically drink it all through the day. Now, I love protein shakes. I'm not in any way addicted to them. I don't take them often enough, really, but you don't really need them. As long as you're getting the amount of proteins you need, the amount of carbohydrates you need, and you're getting some nutrients from vegetables, your diet can actually be really healthy and relatively cheap. So without the use of protein shakes, I'm going to show you what you can eat, the cheap way to maintain a decent, healthy bodybuilding style diet. So when we go to my freezer, the first thing, my go-to thing, bags of frozen rice. Now these tiny little bags, I think it's about 200 grams in there. They come in a bigger bag of 5, I think I've got about 10 in there, but they come in a bag of 5. So what I'll do is I'll have one of these with my lunch. So 5 of those from Monday to Friday that I take to work. This cost me €1.65. And they take 3 minutes each. So in the morning I get up, throw it in the microwave. 3 minutes later it's done. It goes in one of these Tupperware pots. Along with some veg or some egg or some meat of some description, and that will be my lunch from Monday to Friday. Very cheap. Another thing I have, which is very handy for lunch, is just bags of salad. You can get loads of different types of salad. Rocket salad's always a good one, but these are €1 as well. So what I do is sometimes I'll have that with some meat in a wrap, and I'll have 2 or 3 of those a day, and that's instead of this lunch. Or if it's a particularly busy day, I'll have both, and I'll end up having 2 reasonably sized lunches. The next thing, which is nice and cheap, which I can't do without, is frozen vegetables. So this is just a bag of broccoli, also very cheap, mixed veg, and these are just peas. I'm running out of peas, even though I've just thrown some all over the place. Pea. You get a cupful of that, stick that in the microwave with a little bit of water, and that's ready to go. So you can portion of that, portion of this, portion of meat, and there's your carbs and your protein, and that's a decent lunch. Also, for a bigger portion, that's also a dinner. So that's your lunches and your dinners pretty much sorted. You're going to need more protein, more meat for your lunches and your dinners as well. So I get a kilo of meat. I also get lots of pork, like pork chop type things, or some steak fillet, small steaks. Another great thing that I love, I don't have enough of, avocados. Now these aren't the cheapest, but they're great. It's an amazing superfood. There's proteins in there, there's carbs in there, and there's essential fats in there. Essentially, you can live off of avocados alone. Wouldn't recommend it though. Snacks, hummus. I love hummus. Hummus and breadsticks, or hummus and carrot sticks, are one of my favourites. That's really good snacky food. Hummus isn't relatively cheap either. It's easy to make, but for a treat every now and again, hummus. Peanut butter, cottage cheese, they're the same type of things. Always good for a snack and high in protein. I'm pretty sure these aren't as good for you as they should be, but crab sticks. These are lovely. If you get them frozen, they're about a quarter of the price of just ones that you get out of the fridge section. and just throw them in your fridge and let them defrost. Pick at them whenever you like. Also, fresh fruit and vegetables, not as expensive as you'd think. Here I've got a bag of cucumbers here. Fruits here, I've got bananas. Bananas are great. They're also great for a snack. They're great for breakfast, post workout. They're fantastic. Chuck those in a protein shake if you're using protein shakes. Throw all that in. Another thing that you can just throw in a protein shake, and is relatively cheap and very good for you, oats. Now oats you can get anywhere. Like I say, in a protein shake, you can have them as porridge oats for breakfast. Throw a banana in with that. You can throw these in pretty much anything, pancakes, or with eggs for your breakfast. Another thing for breakfast, one of my favourites, muesli. Love muesli, any kind of muesli. You can get a fruit one or a nut one. This is a nut one I've just got. I love this one. And I will mix that with one of these, if you can see that. It's like a drinkable breakfasty yoghurt. I don't have too much dairy. I've got an intolerance to it. So if I have that and maybe a couple of cups of tea during the day, that's pretty much my dairy intake. So I have protein shakes very low in lactose that I can mix with water. So even, not that my one's a major one, but even with dietary requirements or restrictions, this can still easily be done. So there you go. That's been the shopping a couple of days ago. Nice and neatly stacked up there, as you can see. So just to quickly recap, things for breakfast would be bananas, oats, muesli, eggs. I didn't mention eggs. I've got eggs over there. I'm lucky enough to own chickens, so I have 3 eggs. But eggs are a very cheap and very good source of protein. So I recommend get some eggs. They'll go in a protein shake as well. So yeah, breakfast. Muesli, eggs, oats, bananas. Lunches and dinners I kind of class as the same thing. So rice, avocados, frozen veg, bags of salad, wraps, big bags of pasta are cheap. And snack foods. Bananas once again. Hummus, peanut, well, any kind of nuts really. Peanut butter, cottage cheese, anything like that. Very good protein. So even when you're fancying a naughty snack, you can be good and you can stick to a healthy diet. Little side note, I have a protein bar recipe on a previous video, so have a look at that and make yourself some protein bars. Yum yum. So that's the main food side of things. The cheap bags, always look, this is my main tip, it's my top tip. Get things from the freezer section, the frozen foods, the rice, bags of frozen vegetables, things like that. Anything frozen is going to be cheaper, it's going to last longer, and it's portioned up usually, like the bags of rice that I use. Now the second part of this video that I wanted to talk to you about is the training side of things. Now training is usually the more expensive part of anyone's routine, because people that begin in weightlifting, bodybuilding, weight training, anything like that, they save up their money, get a few t-shirts and vests, pairs of shorts, new pair of trainers, go to the nearest gym, pay their membership. Now they're broke, but they're training and they're working hard, sticking to it, but then they neglect their diet. Or because of that, all those outlays that they've paid, they assume they don't have enough money to maintain a diet as well. So I've covered the diet side of things. Now the training side of things can be equally as cheap. The first thing I would suggest, if you've got enough money and a place to put it, is a chin-up bar. You can't go wrong with a chin-up bar. I love mine. I love chin-ups. Anyone that's seen any of my videos, I love chin-ups. It's one of the best exercises. And even if it's not a chin-up bar, if you've got something you can hang off of, sounds ridiculous, a tree, a scaffold pole, if you've got a scaffold pole somewhere, and some people even have lower ceilings in a garage that you can hang something from. You can also buy the chin-up bars that hang from the architrave, the doorways. In Spain we don't have architraves, so I can't use one of those. Some houses do, but most of them don't. And they're good. I had one in England, but now I've got a bigger area dedicated to weights and equipment. I've bought one, a wall-mounted one. That's actually a collapsible one as well. So if you find something like this, that does actually fold flat to the wall as well, for convenience. You can also buy benches, relatively cheap, that will also fold flat. fold away, lean up against the wall, push underneath a bed, something like that. This one doesn't do that, but this one is a bit of a hybrid I made from two benches, a sit-up incline bench and an actual weight bench that didn't have the padded part to it. So I've botched that together, and it's lasted me well over a year so far. It looks horrible, it looks rancid, but it does the job, and it makes an awful lot of noise when you sit on it. So get yourself a chin-up bar. Next on the list, I would say, is get yourself some free weights. Anything, just some dumbbells. It doesn't have to be anything huge. Even if they're relatively light, there's quite a lot of little exercises you can do with body weight exercises and light dumbbells. Then you get more weights and you get heavier dumbbells. Next on the list, I would go up and buy a bar, either a straight bar or an easy curl like this one here. But these are my bars that I use the most. I also have a bigger one up here, the one on the bench, and there is another one in the corner there. They were relatively cheap as well, especially the one in the corner and this one on this rack here. They're hollow bars, so I think they cost me about €10, which is very cheap for a bar. The other ones down here are solid bars, so they actually cost more money than the other ones that are twice the length. But they're better bars, better to train with a solid bar, I think, less likely to bend it or kink it, especially if you're throwing it around the place. Not that I do that, I've got tiled floors. So that's a cheaper way to start off your training, by buying some cheap equipment and starting off yourself and using body weight exercises. Do some HIIT training, some pull-ups, some push-ups, some sit-ups. There's different variations of things like push-ups and sit-ups or ab work that you can do. You can do dips off of pretty much anything, side of a bed, side of a coffee table, a chair. But if you've got some more money to spend, if you've got some cheap weights and things like that, you'd spend about the same as an average month's gym membership on a set of dumbbells. Now these dumbbells will going to last you years then, but a gym membership will only last you a month, but there's more equipment. So it's up to you which way you go. In the long run, the gym is going to work out more expensive, and in the short term, dumbbells are easier to get hold of. They're going to last a lot longer as well. But you can get gyms relatively cheap if you go. Some gyms do different plans, like an off-peak. You're only allowed in at off-peak times. Some 24-hour gyms have it very cheap if you go early hours of the morning. So anything from after midnight till about 5 a.m. That's a cheaper way. Have a word with your local gym and see what kind of tariffs and things they have. If you happen to have just a few extra quid on you at that time, you could pay for a few months in advance. That usually bring the tariff down. You can, most gyms, pretty much all of them, I think, you can pay per session for €4 or €5, pounds. It's not a lot of money, but if you're going to the gym 4 or 5 times a week, then it soon adds up, and you'll realise that after a week and a half, 2 weeks, you could have actually bought a month's membership in advance. So if that's the situation you're in, I'd suggest, if you've got that couple of quid that you was going to spend going to the gym that day, save it, put the gym off for a couple of weeks and put that money aside and get yourself a month's worth of membership. And when you're in the gym, work your arse off. Work as hard as you can. You're the only one paying for it. You're the one fighting against yourself. You're only in competition with yourself. So push yourself. Get your diet going. People will notice this in the gym. They'll ask for advice. They'll become friendly, and you'll make more friends and acquaintances. You can find training partners that way. That motivates you, and then you get twice as much out of a gym session for no more money. Someone will want to train with you. A couple of people might want to train with you. You'll show people what to do. People will ask your advice, and that is a great feeling in itself. And that then just leaves cardio. Now that's easy. Go out for a walk, go out for a run, a jog, do some sprint training, do some HIIT training, go swimming, go cycling, go rollerblading. I've got my trusty road bike here, and it's on a mag trainer, so I don't even have to go outside if I don't want to. I go rollerblading every Sunday, just after I post this video up. Swimming, I'm going to start soon because it's getting warm enough to go to the beach now as well. And cycling, I'm going to start mountain biking soon. So wish me luck with that. So guys, there you go, a little bit of a different video for you. I hope you got some advice out of it. If there's any other advice you want, just let me know. Ask a question. And I'm holding the camera this time. I thought, it's boring sitting in that chair all the time. Thought you might get bored of seeing it. In about a month's time, I'm going to go skydiving. Yes, I don't know what that was. Yes, I'm going to jump out of an aeroplane. Well, I'm going to fall out of an aeroplane attached to somebody else. But anyway, the main focus is I'm falling out of a plane. So, I'm doing this for a local charity. It's called FAST, and it's like a paramedic type thing. It's the first aid response to the expatriate community close to me out here in Spain. Very good charity, very worthwhile cause. They helped my dad out at the beginning of the year with an illness, and they rely on a lot of support from charitable events and things like that. So what I'm asking of you guys, pretty please, is donations and sponsorship, more to the point. There's a PayPal account attached to it. So that the PayPal details are treasurer@fastcampusol.com. I think I've got that right. I'm going to write it on the bottom of the screen here. And I'm doing that on the 17th of May. And last but not least, guys, quick shout out to my new subscribers, because I do it every Sunday. I'm going to have to read the list here, though, I'm afraid. Toril Bondal, C-Train24, Andy Young, Gareth, Ali, Hafiz, Azmat, Dylan Plant, West Coast LA Muscle Unlimited, check those guys out. Timothy Maunch, Brent Gobat, Wing, oh here we go, Wong King Slong Edison, Adrian Gonzalez, Tati Esenio, Rosara Oviedo, not sure that's right. Shi Bum Isan. Kang Tran, good channel, check that one out. And Bubba Booski, he's done nothing but talk about me and retweet on Twitter. So check that guy out. He's only got a few subscribers, but have a look because he seems like a top bloke. So thank you very much to him and everyone else that has subscribed recently. And I'll see you next week. Ta-da!